this house is haunted. Although my theory of like haunted houses is that my house doesn't have enough square footage. I don't really know where like the threshold is, but I don't know. There's just not enough space in our house for a ghost.
So I was fairly convinced that at the Caesar's Palace last week when we were in Vegas that at least the elevator was haunted. Because it wouldn't close. It was always the same one. It was like someone was always putting their hand in to have it stop, and then it would go back open, then it'd close, and then it'd stop, and then go back open, and it'd do that a couple times until the elevator just finally said, "Screw it, I'm just going to close no matter what," and then it goes. Yeah, so it was always the same one. So I'm sure it was just that faulty elevator. But I was in the elevator with some other people, and they just looked at me and they go, "It must be the ghost." I'm like, probably.
Ooh, I love a haunted hotel story. Like it's like a subgenre. I'm like I joined things I'm getting into. A group of a bunch of screenwriters I know through Twitter. We're looking at potentially writing an anthology piece. And maybe things around like haunted hotels.
Okay.
Just because it's like, oh, what a great like wraparound.
Yeah.
Which maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but no one listens to our show, so don't steal our idea. Dozens of you.
The dozens of you. Well, and haunted hotels are always fascinating too, because it always seems to be some kind of a hotel that just has an old history to it that ends up being, the most haunted places.
Oh yeah, I always loved. I had a friend in Rapid City. She was worked at the Alex Johnson downtown, notoriously haunted, and she said that she always hated working there by herself. They usually like have teams to go through and like turn the rooms, because she's like, you go in the elevator and sometimes the elevator would just take you to the basement. Didn't matter what, but it would just take you straight to the basement. And she's like, then it wouldn't go back up. And she's like, yeah, you've got your cart. And it was like, shit, no one had, this was like, in the late 90s. So it's like, not anybody had cell phones. You couldn't call somebody to come get you. So she's like, you'd like park your cart. You'd have to like go down the creepy hallway, take the stairs to the lobby, call the elevator.
That's
like, that's so weird. She's like, oh yeah, it was just, just the creepiest feeling. Maybe the hotel, just functioning stuff, but
the ghost was just they just wanted to have some more people come through the basement, and they were lonely. That's all it was.
Forever.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you ever seen that TV show Ghosts? It's brand new this last year. Is it a
ghost hunting show or?
No, it's a drama or a comedy drama that it involves this couple going out in the middle of nowhere, and they were closing up one of the two had a great grandmother that left them this mansion in this area. So they went out there and they're going to go clean it up. They're like, maybe we should turn this into a bed and breakfast or do something with it. And in the meantime, one of them has an accident, and it's a near-death accident. And from that point on, she can see the ghosts that actually inhabit that manor. And it's all of these different people from hundreds of years back, different areas of time, and they have the ones that were from the plague that all were stayed downstairs because they were locked down there to die. And a Viking there, a Native American that was died on that land and can never leave that land. And so and it's with a comedy twist to it. So they always try to have some kind of a figure out what's going on. Each one of them, everyone has a ghost power. So one of them, if they walks through you, it smells like someone farted, or
it's fantastic. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah. So it's called Ghosts, and it's originated from, I think, a British show, but it turned into an American one. And it's pretty nice. It's a lot of fun. It's not over the top, it's not like a live studio audience type of sitcom. So I mean, it's fun more on a lower level like that, or more broad level.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not over the top. It's got it's got some good characters to it. They had one where one of the ghosts is a jazz singer. She was a famous jazz singer and she died. She was killed actually, and it was never really known on what happened. Well, it turns out that there was this one fan of hers that came many years later, but they wrote to try to be a part of this, to go and check out this bed and breakfast because they knew that jazz singer was there and she had all this legacy and everything, and he really built himself up and saying, oh yeah, she's got this museum that's dedicated to her and everything. Well, once they get there, they find out, yeah, the museum is his bedroom, and it's just him that's a part of it. And he talked about how he was a part of this society. It was just that he has a podcast, and
yeah.
While he's there, he ends up needing to take a shower in the communal bathroom, and he walks by topless and has got her face tattooed on his back.
I love that.
It's just like, oh, you thought that you were gonna be all revered about all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you find out, no, it's just this really psycho person that decided to
a little bit too big of a fan.
Yeah, exactly. It was a Valentine crush.
I was gonna say, if I didn't make it, you'd probably think I was, judging by like my stuff. I'll have to check it out. I always feel terrible because I'm like, everyone will give me book recommendations and like TV shows and stuff, but I'm just like, I just try so hard to find time for this stuff.
I don't have time for everything.
We just recently started watching Lovecraft Country, which oh man, that's already had its season and been canceled, which I really love it. But
I heard great things about it, and I never got to see it just because it was on HBO, right?
Mm-hmm.
HBO Max. And how many seasons did it end up having? It was only a couple, just one.
One. And I think the writer's room actually wrote like the next 2 seasons or something crazy like that. So I think they're floating out there on the interwebs or potentially sold to another platform. But Netflix. Yeah, nothing breaks your heart more than like getting into a series and and that's all we get.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Yeah, I agree. That's something that Netflix would pick up, but at the same sense, Netflix has been really flaky on keeping around good shows too.
Yeah, it seems, like I said, I'm sure there's like algorithms and data that dictate why they keep some things, but sometimes you just gotta shake your head.
Right. Well, and especially when you don't know really what the viewership is, they don't share any of that information.
Yeah.
But they probably spend more on their shows per show than anyone else does. I mean, talking about in the millions to be able to generate just one show, let alone a full season, type thing. So, but
interesting.
Yeah, still something out there for everyone.
True story.
Yeah. Excellent. So what else are you getting into?
Other than traveling a bunch, we recently had our 15-year roller derby anniversary.
Right.
On this last weekend. So it was pretty cool to go out and just see a bunch of people and their kids. And oh my gosh, like some of the junior skaters are now in college and can drink, which is super weird. Like, I remember you coming to practice like in your pajamas, doing your like grade school homework. Emma, who was Genomelink, who was Painmaker's daughter, was there with her fiance.
Right, she's getting
drinking
married.
Beer, and she was wearing like the little baby dolls t-shirt, like the little roller dolls t-shirt that she could wear when she was 6. Like, we're old balls. It was so funny, but it was really fun. It was cool to see everybody there, and kind of like I said, I posted a bunch of pictures in the past on Twitter of the highlight reel from Derby, just because obviously everybody on Twitter knows that I do roller derby, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is when I actually used to skate.
Right. I actually had a store just earlier today was asking about you and skating. Yeah, they noticed your hair at the
everybody did.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, so he was talking about how you were doing roller derby, and I was like, yeah, she does a lot more too. She's a writer, and she is a screenwriter. She's got this movie out. Yeah, yeah. So I couldn't remember
She's a robot.
Yeah, you guys were down at Austin, weren't you? Right? Austin, like a film festival in Austin, Texas.
I was supposed to go this last fall and I didn't because we had a close COVID contact the week before I was supposed to go. Thankfully they were generous enough to move my pass. So fingers crossed, everyone get your vaccines so I can go to Austin Film Festival in 2022. I already have my pass, so I can go and hang out with everybody.
Yeah. So you don't have, I know you got some festivals that are coming up.
We do, and hopefully end of the month we should hear from some more. I know we've got a festival right this coming weekend in Detroit. We've got one. It's a virtual one out in out by Seattle. Shoot, I'm trying to remember we just had an announcement on another one. Oh, one in Oklahoma, just outside Tulsa. It's a genre festival, so it sounds like it'll be really fun. More horror genre stuff.
Yeah.
And then a couple more we're waiting to hear on.
Sure. Kind
of stacked through this summer, so I'm hoping that kind of means get to do a little more traveling. Bring my skates.
There you go. You don't want to travel, long distance with the skates. I mean,
no. I'll pack them and then skate, but But I was thinking it's funny when you mentioned. So we went to this. Brett and I were at a national convention last week, and yes, I have teal hair. Which is good and bad, again, because it makes you very memorable, but it also means you can't get away with anything. Someone's like, oh, it's that chick with the green hair. Hi.
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
But you were doing your thing. You were tearing up the dance floor, and everyone noticed.
What I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a reputation to keep. Every Johnstone National, my reputation is to be the first one on the dance floor and to get everyone else out there. So mission accomplished.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the dance floor was booming. But they had a really good cover band that was there.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun.
It was super dancey music. I'm, always hesitant to get out there and find out like it'll switch to just like lame country music or a bunch of slow songs.
Right.
So,
they were doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, they had a pop hits, country, rock.
Yeah, R&B section.
Classic, yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
I have to look at my videos. I took a video where they had a trombone player there.
Oh, yeah, that guy was rad.
Oh, he was really good. And
jumping off the stage,
I can't remember what song it was, but he was doing the whole song just with the trombone. I'm just like, oh, I gotta get this. So I recorded it, but I can't remember what song it was.
Did you play the trombone when you were in school? Or
I was a trumpeter.
I was also a trumpeter. I did switch to the French horn in high school because we had 0 French horns. Yes. That's how you become first chair.
Real quick.
You have to pick me. I'm the only one. I did enjoy the French horn, though. It was a nice sound.
It's never good when you're only one. You still get second chair stuff.
Yeah, right. Somebody better will come along. We're just going to leave this open for him. Aw.
Exactly. I don't know about this, but this will be good enough. Okay.
Yeah. We don't want you to get too comfortable in that first chair.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, I played trumpet throughout high school, and then I didn't do anything because I didn't have a trumpet. I just rented my trumpet the whole time through high school. So I went to my niece had a concert last night. Yeah, I think it was last night. And my dad, I was sitting next to my dad, and he goes, so you think you could still pick up that trumpet and still keep on playing? I said, no. I said, I'd probably get 3 notes in and my lips would be completely busted out. I
have no chops for it. My nephew wanted to play trumpet. I gave it a whirl. I was like, nope, those chops are gone. I don't know if I could ever. Don't have the desire for it anymore anyway. No one really wants to hear somebody play the trumpet. Like, I had my mute in all the time because nobody like, do you think the drums are bad? Give your kid a trumpet.
Right. Or an accordion.
Or a recorder. Actually, we do have a drum now. I found a drum at the thrift shop, like a little bongo.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. We're really close to putting together a really awkward family band.
That's funny. I didn't like the recorder phases. Yeah, whenever
Yeah,
it had
recorders are
to,
terrible.
it's just ear piercing no matter what.
I think it's just the public school system trying to get back at parents. They're like, oh yeah, you cut our funding. Well, get this, your kid's bringing a recorder home. Have fun.
Yeah, they got to practice.
Musical terrorism.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you're going to hear hot cross buns, but you could just take your fork and stick it in your ear.
All right. Well, me being king of transitions.
Yes.
Speaking of hot cross buns.
Oh boy, I like where this is going.
One of the things that I could get into that I have been wanting to get into for a while, I just never found the time to get into it, to do it, is cooking classes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So actually, what I want more than anything, the cooking classes itself, I think it would be a lot of fun. But what I want more than anything is I want to find a knife handling skills class. I want to just be able to know how to
chopping, filleting, all that kind of artwork.
Yeah. Yep. Because, well, first of all, my wife, I love my wife. I love my wife. However, she believes that everything that needs to have a sharp knife should be cut with a steak knife. So, yeah.
Serrated?
Yes. So anything that
problematic.
You need to cut, no matter what it is, what size it is, just grab a steak knife, and that's what you should be using. It's like, no, I know that I should be, if I'm chopping.
Is there a knife sharpener even in the house?
What's that?
Do you even have a knife sharpener in the house?
No, because all of our knives are serrated.
Serrated?
Yeah. So I keep telling her, it's like, I keep watching these shows and you're supposed to use the big one, and she's just scared to death of the big knife, so it's like, I just need to go up and down, and she's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. But
I was just going to say, so this is a weird tangent, but I mean, since it's what you're getting into, this might be fun. Yeah. So something that like people who make custom knives do, they always do a knife demonstration video, and they're hilarious.
Oh my god!
Just somebody, it's just like, this is the knife, very serious, and like tomato.
Yeah. Right.
Cantaloupe. Chicken thigh. Like, yeah. It's a sinkhole on YouTube, but totally worth it. Although, like, as somebody who always grew up around a kitchen, like working in kitchens, like, a good knife. I mean, like, there's a reason chefs are like very, very like particular about their knives. I mean, they've got their whole set. Then I remember like Dusty and I's first Valentine, he got me a knife, like a nice kitchen knife, because I always complained when I would cook that we just had these dull, crappy knives. So it's like, here's a really nice knife and a sharpening tool. I'm like,
me. Absolutely, he knows you so well.
That's right. Not a threat. Not everyone wants a knife for Valentine's Day. Sends different messages, but
love me or else.
At least he understands my sense of humor.
Right, exactly.
That's cool. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know many like resources for classes, but there's got to be something out there. Like,
well, there always comes every now and then. There will be one that comes up on the community ed, where I wanted to get involved with that, or else even Hy-Vee, our local grocery store, they have. Well, before COVID, I don't know if they've gotten back into it, but they have their own
they used
kitchens.
To do some cooking classes.
Yeah, do some cooking classes, and they've done some knife skill classes and stuff like that. I just haven't actually took the time to look into it and then buy the class and then go to it. It's just something I've always said I've wanted to do, and I've said that for many, many years.
Well, now is the perfect time. I mean, it's gonna be like high grilling season here.
Right.
Yeah, learn how to cut those meats and veggies so you can cook them up right.
Exactly. Well, and see, that's a part of the thing is that I've never been the barbecue or type person. It's always been my wife that's done that. And again, I'll do a lot of the prep work with the steak knives.
Wait.
Yes. So it's a lot of work when we do prep work, but I do think that being able to understand the grill a little bit more. We got a grill. Well, how long ago did we get that grill for through Johnstone? Probably about 5-6 years ago.
Sounds about right.
And I finally put it together when we moved into this house. So we moved into this house about 3 years ago. It's never been hooked up to a propane tank yet.
I think ours was like that for about a year.
Yeah.
We already had like a little Weber charcoal grill, which we love. I got rid of it. I'm like, I still kind of miss it. Like, there's just something good about charcoal, but I can also put charcoal on the propane grill if I want that flavor. But
oh, sure, absolutely. So I just, it's one of those things. Like, I like it, but I used to live next to a person that, every meal was a grill.
On the grill.
Yeah. So, and if it wasn't a grill, he had the smoker out, and it was some kind of variation of that.
That's funny. Yeah, I think our smoker.
It was always fun
died
when he would come over and he'd bring over some food. But the problem was it was always like at 9:30 at night.
Well, yeah, because you'd start cooking at like 5, and then by the time it's all done.
Yes.
Well, here's your midnight snack.
Yeah, so we had it a couple times where it was when the kids were younger, and so we had a couple times where we had them in bed, and all of a sudden we hear a ding dong knocking on the door. It's like, hey, I made some extra food. I wanted to see if you want. Oh, thanks, Pat.
Thanks. Just heading to bed, but it's good.
Right.
I'm not gonna turn away barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to come over, have a beer, have some barbecue? I'm good this time.
Yeah, I always laugh because like today was what, 60, 62 degrees, something crazy like that. Like we're getting a real heat wave this week. So I'm just like, I just know there are people like stacked up at the grocery store meat counter, just like, I need grilling.
All right, exactly.
Blood is in the water.
Oh yeah. Well, there's definitely those people that it didn't matter, even with snow on the ground, they still grilled no matter what.
I have a neighbor, he has one of those big green eggs. And then
yeah.
He's got another smoker, and then he's got 2 grills.
Okay.
And I think he has something out there every day, year round.
Wow. It's great. I mean, it's you gotta hand it to him. Uses it. He's committed to it. I'm sure he makes
a lifestyle, apparently.
Wouldn't it be? I mean, it kind of at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be more of a lifestyle than the people that have motorcycles and can only drive them for 3 months out of the year.
Oh, everyone's already got them out, which I just like, this is the worst time of year to ride your motorcycle. Again, there's potholes and gravel everywhere. No thanks.
Everything's still melting.
Yeah, it is still cold. I mean, yeah.
No.
You can tell people, but you can't tell them much.
Right.
I get that tattooed on my forehead.
There you go.
Evergreen.
I have to tell this story. So I told my mom, I said, I'm going to be going to Vegas and kind of looking at going and seeing if we can find a tattoo parlor nearby, because we talked about that last time. You and I was talking about, maybe we can get into some trouble and find ourselves a tattoo place and get a tattoo.
Right.
And I said, I was thinking about getting a tattoo on my face. And my mom's like, no, you're not going to do that. So last night when I went to the concert, I went to go sit down, and I had a mask on, and my mom looks at me and she goes, take your mask off. What do you mean? She goes, did you get a tattoo on your face? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I refused to take the mask off.
That's awesome. It's good to know you can still keep on her toes, right?
Absolutely. She still doesn't know. I could still have some kind of a tattoo.
I'll never tell your secret, and she probably won't watch YouTube, so you're fine.
No, I definitely will be fine.
Your secret is safe for now.
Right. Anything else you getting into?
I don't know if I gave a recap on the curling or not, because I can't remember since we got all
did
discombobulated, but
I thought you did. Maybe you didn't. We can talk about it again if not.
Well, I feel
curling
bad
is great.
I missed. Okay, so like the first one, we were supposed to go to this class where you sit there and learn about it. Well, we missed it because we get to the wrong place, and we actually jumped on the ice and started playing.
Oh, okay.
Which wasn't
I
part of
knew
the
that you
class.
went on the ice, but I didn't know that was
Oh yeah, like we're out there, pretending like we know what we're doing. So apparently that worked. So we played a couple rounds with everybody, and then we get off the ice, and I run into one of the guys I know, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I was like, "Sorry, here for the class, remember?" And he's like, "Class is down the hall in the classroom." I'm like, "Hey." So as we're leaving, we run into the gal that was teaching the class used to play with Dusty down at Game Chest at their old location. So she was just like, "Oh, I missed you." Like, so she was kind enough to send us like the PowerPoint presentation and the videos and the rules and stuff they covered.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the week after that was before we flew out for Vegas, so we didn't have a chance to go to that one. And then last weekend was going to be the day of just playing. Well, we were both too hungover after doing the derby stuff all day, so we didn't go to that either. So I didn't even go to like any of like the official classes we signed up for.
You just played around on the ice when you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, we pretty much just dorked around the ice for that one day we weren't supposed to be there. But it was really fun. I definitely pissed off some new muscles. I think the brushing is like my favorite thing. I think it's because it's you get to yell a lot and it's like vigorous activity.
Yeah.
I was also surprised how well it actually does guide the stone. So
yeah, exactly.
It worked. I don't know why I didn't think it was going to work, but I mean they're kind of lame little, just it looks like a little dry erase marker or a dry erase like thing. You're just like,
I always refer to it as like a squeegee, like
it's like a little, but it's only like that big. It's just a little guy.
Yeah.
And I apparently am like goofy footed because I like to do like to lead with my right leg instead of my left leg.
Oh, okay.
It was opposite everybody else. It's like, I don't know. This is just the way I am.
This is what feels comfortable.
I assume it's probably from derby. I think my balance is better this way or whatever. But
there you go.
No, it was very fun. I would definitely recommend anybody to try curling. It does require a lot more balance than I thought, but yeah, it is also very slippery.
Did you so when you did that, did you actually, when you were doing the stuff around, did they give you any of those like Teflon covers for your shoes?
Yes. So I had one, I had for your slippery foot and then your gripper. So somebody who was there was showing me like they have like legit curling shoes. And there's like a slippery shoe and a grippy shoe.
Right.
So you kind of like scoot around on them, but they were just using sort of a little like, kind of look like an isotoner like thing to step on so you could slide with your one. And they also gave us like a little balance thing. Kind of looks like an ice scraper and a walker combined. To kind of help you with your balance when you're first getting started.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun.
That was the thing that I thought was so interesting with the slippery shoe is that, I mean, it is, if you would just walk on, some polished concrete, you would slide like crazy on that, let alone the ice.
I was like touching it. I was like,
I couldn't believe how slippery that thing actually was.
Well,
but
that's what you want. That's your gliding foot. So
right. Yeah, absolutely. You want that just to be able to carry you naturally down.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's good. It's such a fun sport and such a unique sport. It gets a lot of shit on it, but when you
definitely admire we can do it drunk because I mean, maybe you get to that point with balance. I mean, I only did it the one time, but
right.
So much yelling. Everyone's yelling at you.
Yep. You're
like, fast! I can go. Never swept so fast in my life, guys. But it was fun. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be fun enough to join a league, but they do like some drop-in dates and stuff too. So who knows? It was all about just trying something new. Now I'm going to sign up for the pottery wheel class.
Oh,
I don't know if you're interested. It's a couple Saturday mornings, which I only do that because it's before Zeus wakes up. But
are we going to recreate Ghost?
Oh, of course. only if our listeners ask for it. Bruce Cherry, you listening?
Start.
He's like, "Are you kidding? I'll film it."
As we walk in, we have Unchained Melody just start playing on our phones.
Yep.
I'm ready for the class.
I know the instructor, so we won't get kicked out probably.
They would lean into it.
Mercedes I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see this. Don't take the Washington Pavilion in any of your videos.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to find more hobbies. It didn't,
Yeah.
my winter hobbies kind of fell through. I didn't get to go snowshoeing. Boo. I think I went
Oh,
sledding one time, and
right.
things are melting. So spring is on the way. I'm going to need some new things to do, at least until the mushrooms start growing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. First official day of spring is on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
20th.
Yeah. I'm also
Crazy.
hoping I've got a connection. I can't name names because, this is how it is. Somebody that knows where some morels grow so we can do some morel hunting.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Some
The
spring
uh
mushrooms.
the pinnacle of mushrooms.
Yes. Why people, it's kind of like that and like wild asparagus. No one's going to tell you there's secret spots, but
Oh, wild asparagus grows.
it grows
Just
in every ditch around here in the spring. So I don't
yes,
know why
exactly.
people get like really like weird about it. The morels are definitely a lot harder to find.
I think the weirdest part about it's, yeah, some random ditch, but it's also usually around the cemeteries is where you find the best wild asparagus for some reason. I don't know. Those are the ones that I've always had a good
And
time
I'm like, how is
looking
there not a
around.
haunted asparagus movie?
Right, exactly,
Like I
exactly.
know somebody that can make this happen. We got Veggie Tales, haunted house crossover kind of thing. I don't know.
There you go. That'd be perfect.
Someone will watch it.
Right, right.
Right.
I don't know why my voice went up right there.
I don't know. That's kind of my favorite thing to do, though, is when somebody's like lying to you and their voice does that. You're like, oh, it's weird. Your voice kind of did that thing.
Oh,
What thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Nothing at
I
all.
should also do a plug for apparently our new video show. Tracy Tries It.
Oh,
So
yes,
my coworker
absolutely.
Tracy, who is famously the most picky, sheltered eater in the world, he tried his first strawberry a few weeks ago. We forced him on camera to try cottage cheese, and tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day, he's going to try corned beef and cabbage and possibly a shamrock shake because he claims he's never had any of those.
My goodness.
And everyone's like he's bullshitting. Like, you have to meet Tracy. Like, he's as innocent as they come.
Yeah. I love the cottage cheese video where he made the proclamation that it tasted a little cheesy. Because it's cottage.
Unscripted, folks. And that's why I'm like, tomorrow, he's so afraid of trying cabbage. You have no idea. We showed him pictures. He's like, oh, this looks like lettuce. And we're like, well, it's different than lettuce. It's kind of woodier. And he's like, it's got wood in it. No. I'm like, oh, honey, this is going to be so fun for all of us. I feel like if anybody didn't catch the first one, like, Tracy has the same energy as Carl, is it Pilkington from Idiot Abroad?
Oh, I don't
kind
know.
of like wide-eyed wonder that an adult man shouldn't have at things.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Is
so
tomorrow
we're all excited.
Is tomorrow the luncheon? The St. Patrick's Day
you
luncheon?
can come by if you want. We got corned beef and cabbage.
That was always
like farts all day.
That was my favorite luncheon that Johnson had at the start there.
I can't remember where we order it from, but they do a mean corned beef and cabbage.
Oh yeah,
that kind of like sauce with the carrots. It's good.
Yes, the gravy. Yeah, even I'm not a potatoes guy, but they even put the potatoes in there with all the gravy and the corned beef. Really oh man, it's so good. I thought Tony's did that. I thought Tony's did everything.
I think it's Tony's. I know one year we did Hy-Vee and it was not as good as Tony's, but
sure. Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna pick the catering places, we're starting some shit. Throwing some shade at Soup Ball's local catering options.
Exactly. Good thing they're not watching.
Yeah, they're definitely not listening to this. The Tony from Tony's Catering. Yeah, so we do a big lunch network and we get like hundreds of people, and yeah. This is it's always a favorite. I know some places will do Irish stew or Rubens, but the corned beef and cabbage is just what we've always done, and it's always pretty darn good.
And it's such a unique thing too that you always hear about it as kind of a traditional Irish meal type thing, but you don't see it very often. I mean, other than maybe the Blarney Stone or something like that,
Yeah, it's not usually a staple at the Irish pub.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone kind of does it different. So
having the corned beef and cabbage is always a treat because it'd come by once a year. So
Well,
Are you
we'll make
guys
sure
doing?
huh?
I was gonna say, you guys doing the pickups like you've done in the
Yep,
past,
we're
or
doing a drive-through too. So stop on by. I'll be
nice.
helping out.
That'll be real easy for me to do that.
We'll make sure we tag I could get into this in our post too. For anyone who's trying to get into corned beef and cabbage, you can follow Tracy's journey to try 90% of food, apparently. We started a list and it was just getting too long. Basically anything that's on a salad bar he hasn't had.
Right. It would probably been easier just to start the list of what he has had.
True. We did really want to do a green olives versus black olives taste test because he's never had either. He'd never had lettuce until he started working at Johnstone.
I just don't understand. He just
picks it off everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, why would I eat this? It's just like, it's like wet paper.
Okay.
I still love the thing when we gave him shit about not having a strawberry. And he's like, what? Right. I've had strawberry flavored things, Leah. And I was like,
it's kind of like saying, I know what a grape tastes like because I've had grape flavored things.
Yeah, well, we were going to try blueberries. And I was like, you know that the inside of blueberries aren't blue. What? What color are they? I'm like, guess you're going to have to wait and see. We feel bad because it's way more entertaining to give him things we know he won't like, which is like everything, but we may have to like throw some good things in there just in case. He tried Nutella for the other first time, like the other weekend. His wife brought some home. He was like, this is great. Like, who would have thought chocolate hazelnut spread would taste so good?
Like, everyone.
Bless your heart. He's being a good sport for everything.
So is his wife just as sheltered as he is then?
Or? I don't know. He says she just eats whatever he won't. So must clean a plate between the two of them.
Absolutely.
So I asked about pickles, and he's like, oh, I just give those to my wife. Like, along with the lettuce, tomato, all the other things you don't eat on your burger, or I think he just lives off like chicken nuggets and like steak, potatoes, probably macaroni and cheese.
Bread. I mean, yeah.
I mean, imagine like a non-adventurous teenager. Like that's what he lives off.
Yes. Yeah.
Cereal.
Oh yeah.
We should make like the Tracy food pyramid. Very sad. It is just like meat and carbohydrates.
Right.
And then candy.
Candy's got to have its own.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually the bottom of the pyramid.
Oh, funny. All right, so I did have one last thing I was going to talk about getting into. So I always fall down this rabbit hole every now and then, and I did earlier today. I was just like, I should just talk about it during this show. So I like to get involved with family trees, genealogy. Mm-hmm. It always fascinates me just because I'm adopted, and so always be able to see what's out there and what connections that you can make with everything. Mm-hmm. So I invested into doing ancestry DNA a long time ago, and I'd recommend that, but that's not the thing that I was going to talk about. So when you get involved with ancestry DNA, you actually get a text file. There we go. Okay. With the genome, with your genome that's processed in that. Yeah. Okay. So it has all the C's and D's and A's and G's and all in there. And so at first I find that fascinating. It's a huge text file, but it's got tons of information there. There's a website that allows you to be able to take that text file and be able to find out some traits, like character traits and stuff like that they can guess what you probably are like based off of your DNA. Yeah, I
suppose they have plenty of data to just crunch it and find find correlations.
And there's new things being discovered all the time. Yeah. So the name of the website is Genomelink, and it's Genomelink.io is actually the website, and it's a free to set up, so you don't have to pay anything to get involved with it. But if you have that human genome or that DNA test genome thing, that text file. You can load that in, and I know the Ancestry DNA isn't the only one that does it. So they have different variations of it, but yeah, you can load it in, and they have, like, let's see, so I'm looking at 70, 100, over 200 different traits that they have listed, that they're saying, oh, based off of your DNA, you should be this or this, type thing. So they got it split up into food and nutrition, intelligence, physical traits, personality, and sports. And so you look through it. They have a filter on there. You can see what are the things that I'm better at, and what are the things that I should be, that I'm not going to be so good at. So it was really cool. So it's like shows.
Any surprises?
I don't really know what to expect more than anything. So like, one of the things that it has in the air is like protein intake. Based off of my DNA, I'm more of a protein seeker, as opposed to not. I'm more likely, genetically more likely to have alcohol drinking behavior. So more likely to drink heavily.
Is that linked to the karaoke gene, or that's a whole other chart?
That's a different chart, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I have on here affinity for red wine, for white wine, caffeine consumption, smoking behavior. I think one of them, post cannabis munchies. I'm destined for greater appetite after cannabis use. So it's so weird, looking through this, and then going through the physical traits and saying, I'm a snorer, and so it came up as excuse me, intermediate for snoring, and more likely to get motion sickness, which I have. Oh, I can't get rid of that tickle. Less facial wrinkles, based off of my DNA. Intermediate male pattern baldness, which it's intermediate. Yeah. My beard thickness is more of a thinner beard, which I think it's just thick because of how long I've had it. But when it comes in, it's a little on the thinner side. I don't know. I have more freckles, which definitely is a thing. But yeah, it's interesting. So the ones that I think is funny. So my DNA says that I should have a lower BMI and a lower body fat percentage. That's not true. Definitely not true.
That protein seeking in the post munchies is winning out.
Right, exactly. Yeah. However, it did get right that I have a wider, larger head.
It's kind of a thank you.
Yeah. I have an intermediate facial attractiveness.
What does that even mean?
That's why I think this is hilarious. This is great to be able to have.
It's just some AI kind of like generate stuff. I find you intermediately attractive with your symmetry. Thank you.
Well, it's never seen me. It's just my DNA.
That's true.
It even has sperm motility on here.
Well, back that up. What? Is this like how effective your sperm is?
Yeah. It's
Is that something that you measure on the regular? Like, how is this like basing that against other things?
Well, I guess it depends on how easy it is for you to bear children.
I guess. So where does it rate you? I mean, we have to know now.
I'm an intermediate. I'm right in the middle. Yeah. So it says decreased sperm motility represented as a low percentage of motile sperm in ejaculate has a potent influence on fertilization. I love how horrified you look right now. This is amazing.
I had to do a screen capture because folks, this is too much information for a bunch of like random letters to be telling you.
Oh yeah. I'm likely to have a larger hip bone. Now
I just feel like they're just fucking with you, right?
It is so funny.
Like, yeah, your second toe is longer than your first one. Your farts smell like roses.
That one is on here too, I think. The toe size thing. Oh no, the finger length ratio. I'm likely to have a decreased finger length ratio. So my second finger is likely to be smaller than my fourth finger, which it is. So yours is more even, or mine is definitely smaller. So mine, yeah, and that's what my DNA shows.
It's all there in the blueprints, folks. Figure it out.
That's why I love going on here and showing people about this. It's like, based off of my DNA.
Based off my DNA, my sperms are pretty good swimmers.
Or intermediate. They're not
intermediate.
Not the best.
They're okay.
They're not. They're just okay. Yeah. So and what I thought was funny, they had the sports part on here. So talking about less likely to experience severe muscle damage after an ultra endurance race.
There you go. Time for you to sign up for the half marathon this year.
I don't know if that's ultra or not.
I just choked him on the air.
I don't know about that. It says that I'm more free. I enjoy more frequent physical activity. No.
Does it define what that is?
Yeah. I am less likely to have ACL ruptures. Good for skating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this site. If anyone has gone through and gotten the DNA through whoever, how many other different sites that are out there,
eat the algorithms and have some fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Check out Genomelink .io. Yeah. Yep. And all you gotta do is just sign up and upload it, and they know more about you.
Then you start measuring things and getting really, really concerned about every part of your body.
Yeah.
It says here one of my canines is going to be sharper than the other. I don't know how to test this, but
right.
It's not too far from the truth.
Right. All right. So there you go. Oh,
there you go, kids. We made it another hour-ish.
Yeah.
Of things we're getting into, things that are weird.
Yeah. Things that are fun.
Hey, as long as it's bringing us joy, we always laugh. That's what it's about.
So thanks for listening, everyone. We really appreciate you listening, and look forward to hearing all your great comments when you send emails to I could get into this.
And please, if you guys upload your genetic information, we want to hear about it. Come at
yes, indeed. Either that or else look us up on Twitter. IC get into this. There we go. Had my G's and my C's mixed up. It's all that
that's Gattaca in your code
stuff.
I mean, yeah, you're genetically predisposed to that. Can't fight it.
Right. Yep. So you, after doing all of that, you just you really want to watch Gattaca again. So
it's practically predicts this whole entire reality that we live in.
it's
at least that part.
It's not very far off.
I need to watch it again. And Jude Law is so hot in that. But
yes. I was watching. Someone was mentioning. I was watching Now We Feast, and they had Colin. Not Firth. Colin. Farrell. Yeah. On there, and they were talking about Minority Report, and I was like, that's another one that I'd have to watch again. It's been a while.
I really enjoyed that one.
I did too.
I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it got panned by a few people, but I was like, it was a fun, and it was kind of fantastical. Mm-hmm. And now when we watch it, it's just like, with all the
scanning your vision. I'm like, oh, that's pretty much apps do. Like,
yeah. It's really fun to be able to watch that, saying, man, we that was really kind of ahead of its time, but
we should have known better.
We should have known better.
Praise of our times.
We should have known that this was going to be coming.
Yep.
Oh well, that's why Idiocracy is out there too. We should have known better.
We should have known better. Upgrade.
Upgrade.
Well, on that note, at least our next episode will be in the future, and who knows what we'll be talking about.
Absolutely. Until then, have a good night.
You too. We'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.